Hello, everybody. This is your host, Ehsan Sheikh. I welcome you all to yet another episode of Facebook Live Sessions. I hope you all are doing well. You all are amazing. And I am here with an amazing personality, with a kind of a very dynamic and versatile personality. And that's none other than Rebeca Fernandez, all the way from London. And she's the kind of a lady who's very inspirational. I would tell about her that she's very inspirational, and she's the kind of a personality who is doing a lot through her, things that she's doing, the work she's doing, and she is really trying to create that kind of effect, across the world, which is positive through her services when it comes to HR, when it comes to a public speaker, when it comes to motivate people, when it comes to other stuff. So she is an amalgamation of different things that you can never imagine. So that is why we thought let's make you meet with this wonderful woman. And she holds an MBA from University of Cantabria, Spain. She is the CEO and founder at Golden Human Capital and co-founder of Human Capital Blockchain. We would definitely ask her what is it all about. And she has worked with multiple industries such as banking sector, consultancy, technological sector, and she's a very professional speaker. Apart from that, she is a writer too. She has written, and she is an author too. So we will try to figure out that what she is doing, what else I think she's not doing. She's doing a lot. So she is a multi-talented woman. Thank you so much, Rebecca. It's really good to have you. It really is an honor. It feels so good, to be in your presence at this moment.
Thank you so much, Jam, and thank you everyone in this university for this opportunity. Thank you so much for the lovely introduction. It's really a pleasure. I'm looking forward for our discussion. Thank you.
Right, Rebecca. Let's talk about you. Tell us something about you and about the work that you're doing and the organization, the Golden Human Capital. Tell us everything about it, not something, everything about it.
About me or about my company? What do you want?
About you and about your company, yeah, about your work.
Okay, so Rebecca is Spanish. I'm Spanish. I'm from the north of Spain, but I live in London. Is where all my career has developed. I've been working in HR industry for more than 10 years. And as you mentioned, I've been working in different industries, banking and also consulting. And in a very early stage of my career, I started working in HR analytics and HR transformation. And in the last two, I found my own company, Golden Human Capital, just because I saw a really big gap in the market. I was seeing how HR was evolving into more strategic and technology-driven function, but I was seeing that there is no centralized system applied to HR. Companies start implementing technology without putting people at the heart of any transformation. The HR function doesn't know anything, or they have a very small knowledge about HR analytics, and they need to develop into more strategic function. So I developed my own company just because I wanted to help and assist businesses as a whole, but with a human-centric type of approach. So, and then as you mentioned, I'm very heavily involved as well in blockchain, and especially with a focus in closing the gender gap.
Right, right. That's. I think that's an amazing work that you are doing, and you have started this out this way. So, Rebecca, tell us something about this about this blockchain technology that you have come up with, and I really want you to put light on that in a kind of a way that can be understood by even those people who do not have any kind of knowledge about it, who like in a very layman language, or you can say the people who are very much unfamiliar with it. So how would you define this technology, and how can it be so much beneficial to the people out there?
Sure. I guess many people, a lot of people, at least a few people know blockchain through Bitcoin. It was the first application that was used using blockchain technology. But blockchain is really a peer-to-peer system. That means that it's a distributed layer system that it's coming from you and me. There is no middle organization or government controlling the data. So it's very easy to adapt, and it's very easy to implement in emerging countries such as, for example, Africa is where I'm working very heavily with. Because again, it could be very easily implemented. And also the benefit of blockchain is that, and especially talking in the HR industry, is that it is trustable, transparent, and 100% secure. Because in
Right.
the HR industry, talking about technology, HR technology, as mentioned, there is no one centralized system that can store all the human or employee data. So for
Mm-hmm.
example, when Ehsan goes for one company to another,
Mm-hmm.
there is always a huge and painful exercise that companies need to do. They need to gather all the data because there is no traceability of Ehsan journey, of
Right.
skills or competencies or learning or even personal information that is
Mm-hmm.
tracked anywhere. It's in different sources. With blockchain, we will remove that issue and we will can have your information just in the blockchain. So, and
Right.
also another benefit of blockchain from a human resources perspective
Mm-hmm.
is
Mm-hmm.
that I'm sure that Eshan knows about the World Economic Forum.
Very
Um,
true.
yeah, so World Economic Forum reports every year, and this year in the report of 2020, they reported that it will take us around 100 years to reach gender parity. So gender inequality is
Mm-hmm.
driven around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Not even artificial intelligence can remove, for example, biases towards discrimination, but especially talking gender inequality. If we
Right.
implement blockchain technology, we can help to close the gender gap because we have a more transparent and
Mm-hmm.
trustable transactions. And that's something that we need to embrace in organizations.
Right, that's super amazing. Rebecca, how do you define the future of work is now? How do you define this term?
So,
Yeah,
yes, thanks for the question, Sham. I know that you said to me that I pronounced not very well your name, but I'm so sorry
I
about
think
that.
it's super amazing. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a really a terminology I loved because we have been hearing, and I guess a lot of businesses or even us, we
Mm-hmm.
were thinking about transform our business, our life, to start being more digital, to start using more technology, automated processes. And I know a lot of companies was allocating budget and starting designing strategies towards to do that goal.
Right.
We cannot talk about the future of work anymore. The future of work is now. We are living a transformation and technology is here for staying. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I meant about the future of work is now, is that technology is evolving and digitalization is evolving our lives. We are living in a pandemic, but could happen again.
Mm-hmm.
We are envisioning that maybe around 70% of companies are going to be transforming into a co-working spaces where
Mm-hmm.
where people is going to go every now and then just to discuss about stuff, and potentially we are going to keep this smart working, which is working on remote type of for forever, really, basically. So I think that's what I meant about the future of work is now.
Right. Right. Got it now. Rebecca, I saw two other statements, two other kind of things like the statements, on and this from the platform of Golden Human Capital, and that was the fact. The one statement was that they say that companies with happy employees show 147% higher earnings per share than their competitors. And the other statement that was mentioned over there was that happiness is a powerful force, and if your employees are happy, or if that that human resource department is working in a very effective way, then your business is really going to be enhancing, and it is really going to benefit you. So how do you define this situation in these two statements? I think they're pretty amazing because I came across them because I was going through your organizational stuff, and it was amazing. So could you define that to the people out there who are listening to you?
Absolutely. Thank you
Yeah.
for saying that. Yes, of course. I mean, when I discuss about this and about transformation, and I go to clients and I manage HR transformation projects, I always said that there is only 10%. If we have 100% of equation, only 10% is technology. The
Mm-hmm.
rest is about mindset, people, and process. That's it. So if we implement technology in our organizations, but our people is not agile enough, they are not happy enough,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't have the understanding of how to use that technology, or even the vision of the goal of why they want to change that or to use that technology, is going to fail. So how we do that? We need to should embrace and to change our mind and to make that shift in our society, but also in our businesses, that
Mm-hmm.
Employees are the most important asset. We have been hearing that forever, but it
Yeah,
is a
without a
fact.
doubt. Hmm.
It is a fact. They are. But companies, generally speaking, they are still not treating them as they are. They are
Hmm.
the most important asset. We have the clients, but if we don't have the employees that are happy enough, engaged enough, adaptable enough, agile enough, driven enough,
Very true.
whatever we do in our
Hmm.
organization is going to be a waste of time and a waste of our money. We should really build these companies and embrace these companies that employees are happy to work with us. And if they leave our organization because they want to move somewhere else, they go in good terms and say, look, I was working in X company and I
Hmm.
was happy to work in there.
Yeah.
And we should really drive that change. And how we do that? Putting the people in the in the heart of any type of transformation, because transformation is not about technology, it's about people.
Right, very true. Rebecca, you discussed about adaptability, the first point, and the second thing you mentioned was that it is very important to be adaptable, and at the same time, mindset is very important. It is all about mindset of the people out there who are working, who are doing this all stuff, who are experiencing, good thing or bad thing. Like you talked about different employees. So, don't you think it is very much? It's a very difficult task. It's very tough to change that mindset of the people because it is very difficult to change that culture, or you can say that organization is already caring. So what has been your experience, because you have been, I think, in different companies, you've been moving around here and there, you have met a lot of people, you have interacted with a lot of people. So what have you seen, and you know how have you seen, or you can say, how have you found HR in those companies? How is the future trend of HR now? Or you can say, what is the mindset that you have found so far in the companies? Is it good? Is it giving you a positive signal? Is it giving you, or is it giving you a very kind of alarming situation that no employees are not being, it is not taking care of the employees like most of the companies? So what would you like to say about that? Is it so like that?
Well, when I talk about mindset is when we talk about when we know that we are transforming and we know that COVID has fast tracked the transformation. Right
Yeah,
now we
very
have
true. Yeah.
course,
Hmm.
and we need to really change our mindset. When we talk about transformation or any type of change in anything we do, we always going to have people that if there is a virus, people are going to be
Hmm.
against it. But we know
Yeah.
that, right? So what we
Yeah.
need to do is to make sure, and that's how I normally work with clients, is that
Hmm.
we need to make sure that we pick the people who is going to embrace the change,
Hmm.
and to should take our time to really not convince, is that to show to them that the transforming of the change is going to be good. So it's
Hmm.
not like to push them to change their mind, it's to
Uh-huh.
show them that the benefit of doing it. That's, I think, when we talk about mindset change.
Right.
And also because when we talk about technology and mindset and transforming, one of the
Hmm.
benefits of technology, apart from multiple ones, is that we have more information, we have more
Hmm.
data. So
Right.
when we talk about mindset, and that's where HR is really relevant in this, is that
Hmm.
when you are trying to change people's mindset or or way of thinking in something that you think is good for the organization, in this case, you
Hmm.
need to prove, you need to have the evidence. So we need to go from I guess to I can prove. And how we do that? To
Hmm.
enabling our HR function into more strategic type of
Hmm.
function. And how we do that? They need to speak the business language. And that's why I meant that we need to take the data and information that we have in the current technology,
Hmm.
and to be enabled and to drive and to build the HR analytics, or the analytics that is going to help us to say to people that they might be against the change, to say,
Hmm.
hey, this is possible, and actually I have the proof that if we do it, it will
Right.
have a huge impact and will huge benefit for us.
I think that's super amazing that the work that you're doing, and you also talked about this gender equality, and you talked about that you have this vision, towards going 2030. By 2030, you really want
Yes,
to bring some positivity into that domain. So
yes.
I think it's pretty amazing, Rebecca. This is the kind of side that we have seen about you, and we know that you are working very professionally, and the agenda that you have, the aim that you have, or the goal that you have is very amazing, and it is very I think it is a need of time right now, that we really need to take it into our consideration. This is the professional side of Rebecca. Now let's get to other side of Rebecca, who is also a speaker, who is also an author, who also is jolly, who really interacts with people, who is also following that kind of fitness regime. She loves hanging out, she loves running, walking, yoga. I know everything about you. So, yeah. So, this side of Rebecca is also found there. And she also gets angry, that we are human. So, what do you say? I mean, now the question that I want to put in front of you is that what keeps you motivated when you're really down, when you have this gloomy day? What is one thing that keeps you positive? What is one thing that really makes you write something about, which makes you an author? So what is that kind of a secret that Rebecca has that has kept her motivated all the time?
Well, I'm very positive, and my ambition is to really make an impact in this world. So I
Hmm.
really want to make a change in the world, because I don't want to live in a inequality world. I don't want to live in a discrimination world. And what really keeps me up and running is that the ambition of make a change in this world. And of course, I think because I'm a very positive person, as you mentioned, I do a lot of sports and I'm still being down to earth. I'm a people, I'm very down to earth despite all, the people, as you mentioned. I was really even know that people was following me, because for me, it's not about money, fame, or stuff like that. It's really to
Hmm.
make an impact in this world for good.
Right.
So I think when you don't have um, when you have a true spirit, and
Mm-hmm.
you really wants to inspire people to get better in what they do, or
Mm-hmm.
to even think about different things, but just because you prove in yourself that it's possible to change, it's possible to make a change. That's, I guess, what keep me up and running, because trust me, Rebecca has also transformed. I made myself. I
Mm-hmm.
come from a disadvantaged background. It took me really, really hard effort to be who I am today.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, in this life, you can't be whoever you want to be. The only thing that you need is your vision
Mm-hmm.
and a passion, and especially work for it every day. You need to work
Right.
for it.
Right, right, Rebecca. That's, I think, super amazing. Tell me one thing. Like you have really. All right. Before getting to that question, another question just pop up into my mind. You. Do you? Are you that kind of a person who goes for a walk, who goes for a jogging? Because you told in one of the interviews I was watching, and you do that. So, most of the times what happens is that there is something that we do for our own selves, in order to be energetic, in order to make ourselves that kind of, motivating personality. So how this COVID has been for you? Has it been difficult for you because you've been at home, or, people were not going out? So how was that experience to you? Is there anything that you have learned so far in this period of time, which was quite difficult? We didn't know where we were heading. So what is that thing that you have learned, Rebecca?
Well, I have to say that yes, I do a lot of exercise, and despite the fact I have a very busy agenda and I'm doing many things at the same time, I think it's very important, especially for me, to really have time for do my meditation, my running,
Hmm.
my yoga, to eat well properly, and especially have time to enjoy as well a dinner
Hmm.
with my friends, or a chat with a very good friend, or with my mom. So I think you should put in always in your agenda time for yourself.
Right.
So what COVID has taught me, I have to say, Isham, that COVID, and I'm so sorry to say that, because we are right now in a difficult situation around the world.
Hmm.
For me, COVID has been the perfect period to really connect with myself.
Hmm.
I'm learning a lot, and
Right.
has helped me a lot. COVID
Right.
has helped me more than ever, because COVID has made me, or to force me to slow down, to be
Hmm.
100% at home,
Hmm.
and slow down, and to really reconnect with me, myself, and why I'm doing this, why I want to do next, and to
Right.
truly understand that material things are not as important as health,
Yeah.
and to have this balance in your
Very
lives.
true. Yeah.
Yes. So to
Yeah.
have the balance, I think is what COVID has teach
Right.
me.
Let's put you into a quandary now, because I always do that. I always ask some kind of question sometimes which is very difficult for the guest to answer. So I'm going to put up that kind of a question in front of you now. So Rebecca, you have lived in Spain, and now you're living in London. So if I ask you this question, that one of the country that you can pick up to live in, so which country would you pick then? Is it going to be London, or is it going to be Spain where you studied? What do you say?
Well, I have to say that I love London and it's my home.
Hmm.
And Spain is a really good country for living.
Hmm.
But fun enough, I'm thinking that maybe next year I want to move to Dubai, or to another country. So, what is, if you ask me, if from my choice, what is the country that is between London and Spain to maybe retired? I
Hmm.
certainly will going to say you Spain because it's a
Uh,
more slow pace. If you go to the south, I'm actually in the north, living right now. Well, I'm from the north, and I'm in Spain right now currently.
mhm.
So of course, if we talk about um, um, hello.
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. If we talk about where it is better
Hmm.
to stay or to live moving forward, I
Hmm.
think Spain is much better country
Right.
just because you have the sun and the beach and the
Hmm.
slow motion type of life. Yes.
All right. So the one country that you would select, that would be Spain, and I think you would like to go to Dubai. It is because of some kind of technological factor or your business factor. Is it so?
Yes,
All
it's
right.
because Dubai, well, Middle East in general, but I know Dubai specifically because the expo
Mm-hmm.
is coming next year,
Uh-huh.
and they have created a government specifically focused in innovation and
Mm-hmm.
technology. They are investing very, very heavily in blockchain.
Uh-huh.
So I think the future, or countries like Dubai or Middle East
Mm-hmm.
or even Asian countries, they really need people, I guess, like me, that we have the
Mm-hmm.
expertise and actually the passion
Right.
to really disrupt the market. Yes,
Right.
yes.
Rebecca, what is that one thing that you cannot live without? For most of the people, it is mobile, they cannot live without it. And I tell you my experience in one of I had to go to some organization where I went for the interview. So I wanted to be selected. But when I went over there, the first thing that I was told was that you cannot use mobile here. And I was like, oh my God, how am I going to live without that? So, apart from joke, apart from that, what is one thing, Rebecca, that you cannot live without? What have you felt about yourself? It is like, I'm talking about your personality trait. It is like, it can be anything. What do you say?
Well, I cannot live without my laptop.
All
If
right.
I lose my laptop, I will lose my life because I don't
Mm-hmm.
have TV for many years. And of course, everything is in there. So I think my laptop will be one of those ones.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I cannot live without coffee, and I'm trying to switch to green tea, which I also love. But
All
coffee,
right.
I love it.
All right. So cafe latte is something that you cannot live without.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. All right. Rebecca, if I ask you this question, that what success is to you, because you have been an author, you have been an international speaker, you're doing a lot of work, and you still have lots of, goals. So how do you define success according to your definition or your experiences?
Success is for me, is not about, again, material stuff or money or
Mm-hmm.
fame or no. Is for me, if I can make an impact in a country, in an
Mm-hmm.
area, or even in a person's life, for the good, for inspiring, or to really help, that is for me the definition for success. So that's why right now I'm very heavily involved in the gender inequality project that we
Mm-hmm.
are doing with blockchain
Mm-hmm.
technology, because if I could really help to close that bridge,
Mm-hmm.
or add a value towards to that,
Mm-hmm.
that will be a success for me. So if I can't help a female population in emerging countries, or even
Mm-hmm.
just one female to get a chance,
Mm-hmm.
um, I will be more than successful.
Right. Rebecca, we are living a kind of a life where we get to see a lot of things. Sometimes we get to see some difficulties, and sometimes we see some kind of, obstacles, and this is what really happens in our lives. And then there comes a time when we have got whatever we wanted. We have really achieved what we always wanted. It can be anything. It can be the inner peace. It can be the inner soul. It can be something materialistic. It can be the thing that you want to provide to the people out there. But there can be some mistakes that we always, sometimes make in our lives, and we learn. Those are the good people who learn from the mistakes and don't, then they do not want to repeat them. So, Rebecca, is there any kind of a regret that you have, that you think that I wish I could have done that, I wish I would have done that, So, or is it like you are really satisfied, you're really satiated with what you're doing, and you always wanted to be here, and you have arrived over there, and or you're arriving over there? What would you like to say? Is there any kind of a regret, or Rebecca is fully satisfied?
I have to say that no, there is no regret. There is only learnings, and
Mm-hmm.
experience gives you learns. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
you always think, oh, I should do that in a different way. But if I will do it in a different way, it wouldn't be the
Yeah.
Rebecca I'm talking with you today. It will be a different Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I don't regret about anything. I think I have learned, and I'm still learning, and all the challenges are part of your life, and everything it really embrace you to be the person that who you are. And
Mm-hmm.
of course, it might be the case with the knowledge that you have, you do things in a different way moving forward,
Yeah.
but
Mm-hmm.
you need to go through the challenge to be able to make that change, or at least to get that knowledge
Right.
afterwards.
I
Yes.
tell you what, I totally agree with your theory because I also have the same theory. I mean, whatever has happened happened because I wanted to learn something, and if I have learned something, that was the part. Your memory can be bad, your memory can be good. It is all about that what you have got and what have you learned. So, Rebecca, I heard about it. I read about it that not read. I just heard about it that you were very good at maths and
Yeah.
you love philosophy at the same time, and you have quite much interest in English. So I mean, tell us something about you. How were you as a student, in your school life or in your university life? Or, normally, I was very bad at maths, to be honest. I tell you what, I was very bad. And that is why, it is always surprising for me when someone says that he was very good. So I just really get excited to ask that question. So, how were you as a student, and how come that that kind of a difference was found? Philosophy you love now, you love English, and then maths was also there on your radar. What do you say?
I think I mentioned in that interview, and is truly a fact, and it's true. I wasn't good at the school. I wasn't brilliant. I always see myself when I was a kid and studying and stuff like that
Mm-hmm.
as very different. I was seeing like I didn't fit in this world, and I
Uh-huh.
think it's because my brain it was full of thoughts and passion to do
Mm-hmm.
something else. And as mentioned, I was going home and always learning stuff I was um, uh, enjoying. And then when I moved to London is when I realized that, okay, you, Rebecca, have a truly entrepreneurial spirit. And I
Uh-huh.
started connecting with people like is entrepreneur as myself.
Mm-hmm.
And fun enough, most of them or majority of them, we have the same type of mindset and skills.
Mm-hmm.
We are people that I read a very interesting quote the other day that says that
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneur we jump into the cliff and on the way to the floor it built an aeroplane,
Right,
and that's
right.
exactly me. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm a person, I say yeah I can do it, and then I will learn how to do it. So yes, that's
Right,
Rebecca, and that's how Rebecca has always been.
right. Rebecca, what else you want to do in your life now? You have achieved a lot. You have really done a lot, and you're still doing. So, is there what else Rebecca wants now from this life or from this objective that you have?
Well, I think I don't have never the feeling that I done all I wanted. I think I always have this mode that, oh, I didn't have accomplished anything in my life,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because for me, when I get something, I'm looking for the next one. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, my main focus right now is to really disrupt the HR technology market with
Mm-hmm.
blockchain, and also to close the gender gap by
Mm-hmm.
2030. That's my aim and my objectives.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that's it. To truly go into that direction. That's my truly focus. Yes.
Right, right. Rebecca, what last message would you like to give to the people out there who are really listening to you, who are watching you? What message do you want to give to the people?
What method?
What message would you give to the people out there who are listening to you, who are watching you? What do you say?
I would
Any
say that,
final message? Yeah.
yes, I will say that in this life, you can be whoever you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter where you're coming from. It doesn't matter if you don't have the knowledge, the background. If you have a passion, a vision, you
Mm-hmm.
can do it. I
Right.
understand that sometimes it could feel difficult, or it could feel that you cannot do it. Don't give up. Don't
Right.
give up, because when you don't give up, magic happens. Trust me. The universe, it will always put you in the right direction if you don't give up. And I always said that success is not a one day
Yeah.
thing.
Very
It
true.
really is a process, it's a journey, and you need to work for it. But resilient, ambition, vision, and if you really want to know how to do it, you maybe need to get a mentor, or just to approach someone and say,
Mm-hmm.
hey, can you let me know how I can do it?
Yeah.
People will really is willing to help and to guide you into that process. So never
Right.
give up, never.
Right. And I would also say to the people out there who are watching that, like Rebecca said, you really need to be positive. You don't have to give up. Once you don't give up, you always get where you want to be, and that really that kind of magic takes place. And once it takes place, you are somewhere else where you were not, or where you really wanted to be on. So thank you so much, Rebecca. It was a pleasure talking to you. It was so good. It was so good to be under your presence at this whole moment. And I think you're truly an amazing personality. I really wish you the best of luck on behalf of Indus University. Very, very thankful to you that you took the time out and you came here, you talked to us. You know, time is the most precious thing, and you gave us your time. And I think this is what is something super amazing. I really wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much, Rebecca.
Thank you so much, Jam. Thank you so much, Indus University. I really enjoy our conversation. I hope that everyone can get inspiration from here. If someone wants to approach me, please do so. And never give up, as you mentioned, be positive, and it is possible to be whoever you want to be. Just believe in yourself.
Take
Thank
care,
you.
Rebecca. Thank you so much. Take care. Thank you.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye.